All right. Hello,
Alrighty.
everybody. Welcome to
Hello.
another episode of the Kungpaokenny Podcast. Today, I have a very special guest. Today, we're talking about Smash again. I'm here to introduce one of my friends, what we'd call probably one of the best players that I know, Taylor, a professional Smash Ultimate and previously Smash 4 player. Taylor, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yo, what's up, everybody? My name is Taylor. My tag is Lemmon. So I'm rocking the Lemmon fit. I've been in the BC Smash scene for about 4 years, and I've been on the top of the PR for the majority, or can't say the majority of it, but a lot of it. Peaking at number 2 in BC here on the last PR, and yeah, I've been having a great time playing Smash here. I love the community.
All right. Sick. So, we're going to start. We're going to go over a lot of Taylor's career and a lot of some fun stuff that I found while doing research for this podcast. So first of all, Taylor, let's bring it all the way back. Let's reel it back to Sutherland High School. You, with your friends Connor, you're playing League of Legends, you're maining Kennen. Ninja Kitty is going hard at the top lane. Ninja Kitty going hard. And one day... One day, Taylor walks in. He walks up to his homie Connor. He double leg drop kicks Connor to say hi to him during recess. And then he goes over to recess and he discovers Smash 4 for the first time. Now, man, you're playing Smash 4 for the first time. It's high school. What hooked you to that game? What got you when you first started playing it?
Man, so that's some really good lore. Many different ways. But you know who I should have told you to ask?
Yeah.
I should have told you to ask Kevin Nuke Johnson.
Oh, the boy.
The lore goes even farther back, bro. You know who was playing Brawl with me at fucking... Sorry, I don't know if you swear.
Yeah, sorry.
Alright, at fucking 9 years old, me and Kevin Johnson, we were playing Brawl at like 9 years old. Yeah, so that's where Smash really started for me. I had like Smash 64 on my 64 before that, but yeah, me and Kevin just used to go hard in that game. And like before I even played Smash with Connor, I was going to little Smash Fest in North Van with Kevin, Alex, PSI Metronome, or Vortigon, and then a bunch of other North Van homies. So that's where it started with Smash 4. And my first Smash 4 tournaments, some of like my biggest memories were fighting against like Snow in the original VSB.
Yeah.
And just trying to get past the 0-2, lifestyle.
The pool lifestyle for sure.
Where it really started, yeah.
I mean, like, they mentioned that, like, when you first started playing, like... when you first started playing Smash 4, Connor was saying that, like, First, you started playing the game, and then, obviously, you got better at the game than the rest of them, and then you started, doing VOD reviews, taking it seriously. Like, where did that motivation come from? Like, did you just always want to get better, or was there anything specific?
So yeah, it takes me a while to really like find a competitive drive for a game. Like I'm one of those guys. I have a lot of free time, so I'm playing video games in my spare time, and then like anything that I really click with, I turn into a competitive drive.
Okay.
And for Smash, that started with me obviously playing with the friend group, and then like it's going well. You like win most matches, then one person beats you, and like. For some people, they can handle that. Like, all right, I'm like the second best in my friend group, but I couldn't handle that. So I just like. Whether it's through character switch ups, like I'm not afraid to like try and play the better character or try and find new ways to beat opponents. So like I found myself swapping through a bunch of characters. I started with Captain Falcon. He was like my OG main. A lot of people play with Captain Falcon. I went through Fox, and then I started playing Zero Suit in Smash 4, and I just found like a sort of safe neutral. Like a lot of people said Zero Suit didn't have a good neutral, but I never really agreed with that. Like, obviously, he was tough with some hurtbox shifting on smaller characters, but, like, just being able to abuse movement in a way that, like, allowed you to slow down the gameplay for yourself was just something I could really click with. Because, obviously, you can be hyper-aggressive with her, but just being able to, abuse movement and, like, take a second to step back and, like, try and see what your opponent's trying to hit you with always really vibe with me.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like, insane punish game, like, I played Zero Suit and Bayo. You can't get the fact that I love killing people early
100%.
or like getting nuts combos starting at low percents. So like I just loved knowing like something that kept me in a match was knowing that I'm never really out of a match.
Okay.
And you can call that abusing Smash 4 mechanics, but like Hey.
That's really sick. Okay, so you mentioned you started going to VSB. You're trying to do your best to make it out of pools. You're going 0-2 a few weeks. When did you feel like you first finally made that breakthrough? Like, who did you beat? Like, was there a specific time that you could remember where you felt like, damn, I'm good at this. Like, I can do something with this.
Mm. It's a hard one. Where did I first feel like I made my first breakthrough?
Mm-hmm. Take your time, man.
Yeah. Honestly, like, I can't even call it a breakthrough, but just getting up on stream for the first time was such a big moment for me. Like, it is for a lot of people, but like, just being able to like realize like what you're doing is like something you can like look back on and something you can really like show other people how, like express yourself in that sort of way. Like, oh man, just playing against some of the top players on stream for me was some of the biggest motivation for sure. And like that motivation turned into eventually being able to take sets off them. Like I started getting a set off of Captain L, I believe, pretty early on. Definitely took me a while, and then same for the other big hitters like Big D. But just once those started to roll in, I just couldn't stop myself from like wanting to drive myself further.
For sure. I feel that drive. And so obviously you're starting to get better. The drive is coming in. The motivation to get better is coming in. You're part of this. It's a whole community, right? So obviously that drives you too. And I think a large part of like being a pro smasher or part of that life is, going out of your region or going out of the place that you usually are to participate in tournaments, right? And for a lot of the time, for the people in BC, that involves carpools. You go carpooling with the boys, you're chilling, y'all going to compete. Can you give me a favorite carpool memory that you have when you're traveling from BC to another tournament?
Oh man, my favorite carpool. So like, one carpool that was always super iconic for me was the Vanden. So that was the Captain L van.
Okay.
That thing could hold, I think, about 6 people, and Captain L was not afraid of driving far to like get to places. So like we drove to California.
Holy shit.
Which was a 16-hour drive. That was for Genesis.
Yeah.
And that was such a dope experience. Like, it never really got boring. We had lots of different people to talk to. We had, Sm4sh on the drive there with us, Captain O. Like, everyone was just keeping each other entertained and talking to each other. And then similar thing, 14-hour drive to Saskatchewan for us. I think it was called Smush vs. Ultimate. So this is when Ultimate first came out, and everyone was arguing about what to call the game. So if you want to call it Smush, nah, miss me with that. I was just calling it Ultimate. Like, hell no.
Smush is horrible.
My dad makes Smush for dinner sometimes. That's what he calls it. I call it Smush. Yeah, and just like, and those had like slight downsides. It's a 16-hour drive. You can't get around the fact that like sleeping can be hard in a ride, but I think like the perfect carpools for me were the drives to Seattle. Just like a nice 2-hour max drive both ways. You could do a one day. You never really had to stay anywhere.
Yeah. That was like the first time that I'd ever gone to like going to Seattle for Don't Park was like the first time I'd ever I didn't really participate, but I just went to like another Smash tournament that was outside BC, and like that drive was really, really fun. So I definitely get where you're coming from. Yeah.
And like, Seattle's not too foreign. Like if you're looking for like a place that's kind of similar or very similar to Vancouver, honestly, like Seattle is about as close as it gets.
Yeah, it definitely is.
But like you still get to experience new things. It's not too jarring. Like, yeah, I think Seattle's just like perfect for that. And
how often do you feel like you travel, like in for outside the region at least, for tournaments and stuff?
At the peak, I want to say like there was a solid point in time. Like farther or like a little bit more than half a year where I was probably traveling every month.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, whether it was to MomoCon in Georgia, whether it was to Super Smash Con in Chantilly, Virginia. I was like really getting myself out there, and like those are some of the greatest times of my Smash career for sure. Like that's where I got one of my highest placements at Super Smash Con. 17th out of almost 3,000 people. It was a bit of a crazy bracket. Like I was supposed to run into Mr. R, and he ended up getting upset. I was supposed to run into Pandarian actually, who's our PNW homie, and you got upset. and I just end up taking up those guys who.
No, we're definitely gonna talk about that. We're definitely gonna talk about that bracket, man. Don't worry, I got some questions about that.
All right.
Okay, so I'm sure that when you were traveling to these Smash tournaments, it was between when you were going to like high school and college, right? And I'm sure that must have been a difficult. Like, can you talk to me about the balance of traveling every month to some different place to participate in these tournaments, and how you balance that with like maybe a work-life balance or a school-life balance or something like that?
Yeah, I want to say I've had it pretty easy in terms of like what I had to do with my weeks.
Yeah.
I was working for my dad full time doing stonemasonry, but you know, like you could say it's easier, you could say it's harder. Like trying to convince him to get a week off. Of course, your dad's.
Oh, dude. By the way, like, do you mind if you like focus your like? I think your camera's not focused on. Is it maybe? Okay. Yeah. Okay. There, that's a lot better.
I can move closer.
Yeah. I think that's perfect. Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah.
I'll just check it out. Still kind of unfocused.
Oh, there. All right. Perfect.
Yeah, I just gotta sit up. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I had it pretty easy. Being able to travel to tournaments, like you said, like every month basically. But balancing that is a hard thing. Like whenever I traveled, unless it was to Seattle or something, I never was really getting in the money, which is a big thing for most Smashers.
Yeah.
But I was able to balance it pretty well, I want to say.
Okay.
It's never too much of an issue for me, luckily. Yeah, very lucky.
But I think it definitely says something that like most people who play Smash, at least as an esport, are doing this. They're balancing a full-time job or something, and then on the side making money from Smash, or like doing it because they love it, right? Like it's definitely a passion thing for you. Okay. So we're going to go through some more career highlights. I'm going to ask you about the tournaments, the big tournaments that you've attended. And before we start off, I want to link you something in the chat.
All right, bro.
This is the first tournament memory that I want you to go through and, kind of react.
You can't ignore this in terms of iconic moments.
I'm definitely going to put like a recording of it like on the bottom when I edit it. So you can just go through it and you tell me what you feel. Give me context, though. Give the audience context for what's going on.
There's nothing more, like, I don't know. There was just so many different emotions. You're going up as the last 3 stocks of the biggest crew battle of the tournament, and not only like the biggest crew battle of the tournament, like of my like Smash career, because like, while the P&W loves each other, you can't get around the fact that one wants to be better than the other.
For sure.
To like such an extreme amount. So there was like. It wasn't beef, but, the competitive drive was so apparent in that venue, man.
100%.
And not only was it in the venue, like, we were in Washington, so who do you think the majority of the venue is?
Yeah, you're playing an away game, essentially.
So every time, we're talking together, sending the next person up, you're almost hoping that it's you. Like, obviously, you're nervous to go up, but you don't want to be the last one. And, like... But the unfortunate thing, or not the unfortunate thing about that, but the smart thing that we thought is having me as an anchor just to specifically counter Conga. And you could easily say that was because of the matchup. Bayonetta just has a typically easier time comboing larger and heavier characters, and DK was exactly that.
Yeah.
But I don't think I was ready for his playstyle or his patience.
Okay.
Because I wanted to start by like shocking the crowd. I wanted to get a 0 death right off the bat, but he got some early damage on me. I said, hey, that's no problem. I'll just bring it back. And he started going to the platforms, and I didn't adapt to that quickly enough in terms of patience on my own end. So I started trying to pressure on the platforms, and I'd never fought a DK that played like this. And I just got shield grabbed or pivot grabbed on the top platform, grabbed at 50 percentage, and taking off the top with a cargo throw up air.
Get ding donged.
And having that happen the first time after being greedy and trying to up air on the top platform, everyone in the crowd on the BC side, what are you doing? Bro, you can stop, don't go up there. Having that echo behind me was some of the funniest stuff. And I did it again the second stock, and I died at 50%. But like I don't think I ever really lost confidence. Like I kept on trying to stay tight with my movement. I was practicing my perfect pivots in between stocks, all that jazz. And I like I mentioned before, I wanted to play to my win condition that I know I always have. as Bayonetta, it all got to start. It's got to start with one hit. So I slowed the game down a bit where I needed to, and I just started looking for my combo starters.
Yeah.
And for his first stock, I took him on the top, and then again, there were some scary moments where people in the crowd again were shouting, "Don't go up there."
Yeah.
But I got my damage up. I took my Gen off the top, and then to close out the crew battle, I took him off the side with up. He had a shield at 50% from the middle. Like that sort of stuff never happens. Like I was pretty proud of that combo. I got the delayed fares off the side to just barely take him off on the corner, man. And hey, that turned into like the biggest pop off of my career, I want to say. And to this day, I can't super blame him. It was tough. I never got my fist bump. So
okay.
If you're out there, bro, one day we'll get our fist bump finished.
Like, so you come back, you bring it back for your region, right? Like, and like, you like walk me through the emotions. Like, how was it ever nerve-wracking? Were you ever like nervous, or was it just really peace, calm, and then suddenly you realize it's over and everyone's just like cheering, or everyone's going crazy? Like, how was it like?
Yeah, like in those final moments, man. Like, it's hard to really say all the different things that just go through your head.
Yeah.
Like, there's the initial pop off and like the composure as like I tried to go up for the fist bump, but then like he was out of the picture and I turned and then there's all my BC boys just running at me, storming the stage. I couldn't stop myself from popping off, man. That was just like amazing seeing everybody come up. And and on another note, everyone in Washington behind them just hands on head, can't believe it. Bayonetta's done it again, man.
That's what you live for, man. I'm glad we could go through that. I'm glad you're so excited to go through that. Okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So second thing that I want to ask you about your career, what I think a lot of people, and Eva, I think you mentioned earlier, would be your career peak so far, would be getting 17th at SmashCon, a very large tournament, 3,000 entrants, a lot of international players, a lot of PGR people on there. So before I ask what it felt like what your bracket was like and whatever, I want to put in a little fun question. I'm going to do one word association, then you tell me what pops up in your head when I say this word.
One word, all right, bro.
Don Quavius. Does that make sense?
Gentleman. He's a nice ass dude. He's like the nicest guy I've ever met, man. He's a gentleman.
All right.
Like, what can I say?
Sick.
Nah. Do you want me to like go into more detail or just?
For sure. Just go into more detail.
Okay, yeah, no, like he was super gracious in defeat, like just so happy to be able to play up on the stage, and like can't be happier to fight anyone else in that. He's a good guy.
Okay. So second of all, you get 17th at SmashCon. I think your bracket was you lost to ESAM, round 1 winners, and then you beat Cola, which is like probably a really good player nowadays. No,
I lost to Cola.
You lost to Cola. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, that was later on in the bracket though. Like after ESAM, I beat Anti.
You're right. Okay, that was the one I was talking about. Anti must have been a big win, and then I think you beat a bunch. Like, talk to me about the bracket. Like, you start out not very high seeded. You have to play ESAM first round. That's really tough. Like,
right. How
did you get from there to 17th? Walk me through.
Right. So yeah, I remember. Obviously I've got Captain Al in my my region, so there's no better practice in terms of the character.
Yeah.
And like one of the big issues is like everyone knew Pikachu. Can't even say a sleeper pick because everyone knew they were super strong, but like there was low representation for the character. So I was happy to have someone in my region who played the character, but even going up to the stage with that knowledge, like I knew that like they have such violently like different play style that it was hard for me to know what sort of approach I wanted to take to it. Obviously at the time I was maining Joker, but I really did consider pulling out the Peach or the Daisy for that matchup, just because I know it's a lot cleaner of a matchup. But I talked to a lot of people. I think I talked to Black Twins, an Ontario player, and a couple other people, and just ran over my ideas, what they thought I should do. And a lot of people just recommend I stay with the Joker just for familiarity reasons. And I just can't say I was ready for that sort of pressure, man. Like he'd been through this sort of bracket so many times. He was just ready for me. He exploited me off stage, and but after that I ran into Anti, and that was another really highlight just of the tournament, probably, honestly. Like it was off stream. I was fighting him on one of the side stations, and I had a bunch of BC homies behind me, like Kai, Zach, Captain L, I think was there, and it was like one of the tightest sets I've had for sure. Like the craziest part about that set was just the momentum that both of us brought onto each other, each other's stocks. Like we'd both be like basically 0 to deathing each other, and in the very end, I think it ended with him getting me off stage with the Mario back air, and then just he wanted to end it with some flair, so he ran off the stage for just like a forward air spike, and I fast fell under him and then jumped back aired with Arsene and just killed him at like 90% or something, because he wanted to end it like right then and there, but I didn't let him, and then yeah, again that was a big pop off for me.
That's sick.
Yeah. I think right after that, who did I fight after that? I think I fought the Me Gunner Zelda player. Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at rest of bracket, like it wasn't really like there were like I was going through it with Bailey, and I was like asking him who these people were, and he wasn't like always very sure until we got to Cola, basically, which was I think so you get who did you beat to get 17th, like to get that placing?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I beat the Me Gunner Zelda player, Ikoda. Yeah, Ikoda. Yeah. That was a pretty decent set. Like, I basically didn't let up on the pressure. Like, you know, with those zoner characters, that's how you gotta play it. And Joker's so good at ledge trapping. That's really where I got the majority of my percent. I remember in that set. And like whenever I felt the need to reset neutral, I'm happy to say I'm one of those players who's not afraid to play slower, especially against like a zoner character where you don't want to take a lot of free chip damage. So I abused my side B, abused my down guns, jump gun, and just was able to chip him out. And then whenever I got those meaty hits like a back air or dash attack, I was able to turn into a lot of percent just from like ledge trapping. And yeah, I took that over pretty clean. I think 3-0. Yeah. And then I ran into Cola afterwards. Do you have any questions about that, or should I just go for it?
No, just go for it, man.
All right, yeah. Yeah, I ran into Cola, whose tag at the time was Salt One. Yeah. And matchup was Roy Joker, and we had 3 incredibly close games. You know, the only Roy I'd ever really played against was Ouches, which is he had an amazing Roy, but you know him, he was switching characters so much, I never really got to play against it too much. So I definitely got shocked by a lot of things, but he was just so good at dealing with down guns whenever I tried to use it to get back to stage, that I ended up losing stock so early to him. Like he hit me with some high back airs as I tried to land back into stage, kind of greedy with my down guns, but I hadn't really got that sort of greediness beat out of me before, because he played against Wrath, who's known for his Sonic, but he also had a really good Joker, so they were playing that matchup a lot in Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah, so he hit me with a lot of stuff I wasn't ready for.
Do you feel like what was your expectation when you went in? Like, was 17th the goal, or like what were you pushing for? Like, did you have any expectations, and where they met with the 17th placing?
Like that tournament was crazy for me in that sort of sense, because like I just like I kept on going into more bracket matches, and just like I was surprised to be winning. Like I would look over at like Zach or Mason, people who were there at the tournament, and just like kind of bewildered, like, man, like this is kind of crazy. I'm doing it. You know, I'm not getting the craziest wins, but I'm making it up there at big tournament 100%. Like this. So yeah, that was just like such a crazy feeling, and like I just didn't want the winning to stop. I don't know what else to say, man. Like I just kept running there as hard as I could.
Okay, so we went through most of getting 17th at SmashCon. That was really great. And I think the third competitive moment that I want to talk to you about is getting first at SKL, beating Dawson, getting your free trip to Galmo, which you're going to reclaim at some point. But yeah, tell me what I was like.
Man, yeah, that was, again, one of the greatest tournament experiences for sure. Like, it was just like such an amazing blend of, something you look for in a tournament weekend is just having such a great weekend. Like, we got to stay with our friend Stu, I think. I think that was the tournament we got to stay at Stu's house, and he basically had just like an entire basement for all of us to chill out in, and yeah, just like being able to practice as much as he wanted with the boys, and then head out to a tournament together was amazing.
How was your? Sorry, continue.
That was actually a tournament where we rented out a Airbnb. Not that was Stu's house was a different one.
Oh,
but
okay,
yeah,
okay.
same deal basically. We got to practice for a tournament and had it out there. It was awesome.
How was your record with Dawson before this when you were beating him? Like, was it always did he have a upper hand? Did you have an upper hand? How did it feel beforehand?
So that was really like among the months of like the turning point in like how consistently I was able to take sets off Dawson. Overall, he undoubtedly had the upper hand in terms of sets on me. But that was really getting to the point where I was getting a little frustrated with the matchup, or not with the matchup, because I really consider it was a great matchup for Joker, but just like I didn't feel like I was proficient at enough, so I really started to study it, and just like go over what sort of gimmicks I could abuse to try and out gimmick Ices.
For sure,
it's a tough thing because they're gimmicky. But,
they're gimmicky.
Yeah. So I think one of the bigger things I tried to take notice of was just like how much Ices like to fight with hitboxes, because obviously it's a Smash Bros. It's a fighter game. Everyone uses their hitboxes, but Ices are a bit different because obviously they have two hitbox swinging at the same time. So like that leads to some really high shield pressure, and a result of that is you're not able to punish them out of shield at all, really. And a lot of people get caught up in that. They'll be, because a typical ultimate neutral exchange would be someone lands on someone's shield with an aerial or a special, and they buffer an aerial out of shield just because of how much shield drop is in the game. So you can't really like do out of shield tilts like you can Smash 4. So I'm just like, and I would go through those notions where I would he would land on my shield with something, and I would try to do a backer out of shield or something, and it would never work. It's because getting hit with 2 8% aerials just winds up with you having too much shield stun. So I thought I may as well just try and abuse my counter whenever I see him landing into me. And I ended up getting a lot of mileage through that, because not only can you, like with base Joker, you can counter and build up your Arsene, you can also combo out of it. So being able to get the down B and then combo that into a dash attack would just get you into such a good position against Ices, and then eventually you'd get your Arsene, and there's so many clips of just how deadly that could be versus that character, through counters or just reading high recoveries. So I was pretty proud of myself for the adaptation, as simple as it was.
That's super interesting. That's super interesting insight from you. Okay, so I think I've gone through most of the stuff that I wanted to ask you about your competitive career, and we're getting towards kind of the end of the podcast, but I want to go through a small game of Would You Rather, right? If you had to play one game for the rest of your life, Smash 4 or Ultimate, pick one and why.
Oh, you can't hit me with a quick answer on that. That's a hard one, bro.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Take your time, to be honest. Doesn't have to be lightning.
It's so hard to get an answer for that, because I love so many Smash 4 characters, but I love Ultimate characters at the same time. But I don't know. I really feel like Smash 4 could have had a better competitive lifetime with some proper rule set changes, honestly. Like if they up the stock count to 3, and maybe up the timer or whatever. But I think as like the competitive communities stood at like for their respective times, I would go with Ultimate for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Ultimate was just almost everything I want in a competitive game.
That's sick. Okay. Next, never listen to Brockhampton again, or openly be a weeb.
Oh my god.
I know I'm hitting you with some tough ones, baby.
All right. Okay. Honestly, like, I have so much Brockhampton merch that I couldn't like have that shit and be like fake about it and all listen to their music. And dude, like you can't. It could just be watch anime. Like I'm trying to like watch some.
That's crazy. Okay, final one, and this involves a clip. So, number one. Okay, wait. Actually, I don't know how to kind of paste it. I'm gonna send it. Don't click it yet. The first one is: Would you rather do karaoke at Faded for a fanny pack with Connor, or the link sent below?
Alright, I'll open it up.
And if nobody knows I'm gonna put it there, but the video is essentially Taylor chasing a shot of I don't know what alcohol. I think it was Jaeger, and you chased it with
whiskey.
pickle juice, bro. Fuck wrong with you?
No. Okay, you see me spin that shit out in the video. Okay. Connor was religious about the fact that pickle juice was an okay chaser, and like we almost scrapped in his apartment about that shit. Bro, I ain't gonna lie. I said there's no way, and you know, I'm like, all right, man. Like I'm not gonna be a wuss about it. I gotta try it. So I tried the pickle juice chaser.
Bro, it's mine. Come
and it was everything I expected it to be. It was,
Bro,
it was
it's
terrible.
mine.
It was god awful. So would I rather do that again or karaoke for fanny pack? Hey, I would do karaoke any day. That shit was hype.
All right.
Like we were doing karaoke to some Brockhampton in the thing there. Like we didn't care who was watching. We were going crazy. So man, yeah, no, that was a dope time.
All right, I'm gonna ask you one last question. It's gonna get a little philosophical. Like, what do you think is the one thing out of playing Smash this entire time, taking it seriously, taking it competitively? What do you think is like the one thing that you took out of it that was like the most important to you or affected you the most as a person? How has it changed you?
It's a very good question. I think the ability to be okay with failure and focus on growth. I think that's like a really hard lesson to learn in general. Just whether it comes through, you can see the opposite of fail, or like trying too hard to focus on success without proper means to improve. I feel it's something that's like would typically come naturally because like it's a typical adage, like everyone wants success but they don't want to work hard for it, and I don't think that's like something to be ashamed of. And I think that was just something that was I instilled to myself, maybe not completely myself. I had some great mentors and like Captain Al and the other top PC players, but just being able to focus on improvement and being okay with failure is definitely what I would say I learned the most, or I appreciate the most out of my Smash career.
Learning how to lose, right? And learning
how to lose, and yeah, and like I had my stints where I was unhappy with losing. I had some raging moments for sure, but I'm not too ashamed of it. Like, yeah, hey, like it's hard to come to terms with that sort of stuff with yourself, but it's a learning process, and I'm really happy with the road I took, regardless of what happened. So
cool. Well, thank you so much, Taylor. That comes to the end of the podcast. I hope you had a good time, bro. I tried my best to make it as fun for you as possible. Yeah. Any last closing statements?
I just want to thank you as well, man. This was such a good opportunity. Like I don't get the chance to talk enough about just what I've learned in like my Smash experience. So I really appreciate this for sure.
Sick.
And I'm really glad you put your own spin on it through talking to Connor and whatnot. That shit was hilarious. Yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks, man. I'll see you around. I appreciate you, buddy. Peace out.
All right, thank you so much, man. Peace out.
Sick.